Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Kat, known as phamerina.planning here on YouTube and on Instagram. And today's video is a plan with me for the week of July 21st through July 27th, using this kit from Starlight Paper Studio called Coast that is foiled in holo. I am here to bring holo summer back. I mean, not single-handedly necessarily, but I feel like summer and holo go hand in hand. They are just meant for each other, especially purple. I've been finding that I've been drawn to a lot of kits that have purple and holo together. I feel like Starlight Paper is and hello Paper Trail Plans are like two of the shops that I can think of that consistently select holo has an option for a kit. Because the Pretty Pink Co, you can pick your foil color, so I know they don't offer holo all the time, but I feel like for a lot of the summer kits they released this year, they did. But yeah, so yes, back to what's going on here. This is a kit that she released last year. I remember this one specifically because I loved it. But first year of doing this planning, and I kind of got sucked into like buying every kit that made me go ooh ah. So I didn't have room for it last summer, and I was content with like maybe picking it up for this year if it was still in the shop. Or maybe not. But then she announced that she was like temporarily closing the shop. It was towards like the end of the summer. I remember that. I don't remember exactly when. But it was towards the end of the summer, right around the beginning of fall, I think. She announced she was closing the shop to completely like redo things just because I feel like I haven't been around this community for very long. Like I've been here for a year and a half. Oh, like literally 22 months, like actively in this community. Um, and like, I feel like I've seen, or let me restart here, brain. I feel like a lot of shops when they're just kind of starting or solo operations, they kind of go through like a period of time where they need to assess whether they are a ready to ship shop or a made to order shop. And I feel like you don't really know what's going to work for you until you try both. So I think at this point, Sita, the owner of Starlight Paper, was toying around with the idea of possibly or of transitioning to a ready to ship shop at this point in time. I wasn't like good friends with her at this point. I mean, we chatted, but we don't talk like on the level we do now. um, so I feel like she was probably at that point in time trying to figure out if she was going to continue with the shop, how to move forward with the shop. So she had to close down. That was my long-winded way of getting around to saying that since there was a possibility that this was not going to come back or not be available for 2025, I impulsively bought it in 2024 because like I think Hollow's having a moment this year in 2025, but I feel like there was like no holo or very little holo in 2024. So my pulse back in 2024 was like, I'm going to get this because this is possibly going to be one of like 4 holo kits that I'm going to be able to find next. Like in general, there might not be many holo kits next year. So I want to have this just in case. And lo and behold, I feel like holo is having a moment this year, which I'm not mad at. But that did mean I had to be very smart about how I wanted to um purchase. I mean, that's something I'm still working on. I still do kind of impulsively purchase things, or I still go through that like, oh, I can just bump this to next year thing. Um, but that's a different problem. And then, so that was my very long-winded way of saying that I impulsively bought this last year to use this year, and I'm committing to using it this year because that was the whole reason I bought it last year. So that's that. So on to on to the base. You know, what's actually going on here. So I went with stuck with the two bottom washies as they were. The Sita has a very like specific style and signature. I feel like well, her signature last year was the fact that her bottom washies were very minimally foiled. She didn't really do the trace foiling. Um, and they were very minimal but impactful in that way. I say that last year because this year, with the emergence of like the decorative kits, you don't really see the foiled bottom washies in the decorative kit. So, like, that is not necessarily a Sita specific thing, but at that time, that was a very Sita specific thing. I could always tell it was one of her kits because of how the bottom washies were foiled. So I stuck with the bottom washi. I knew I wanted to use the fashion dolls because that was one of the things that really drew me into this collection, in addition to like the colors and the holo. But the fashion people have this kind of like, well, the art in general, but they had this very kind of soft, um, like a like lightly anime, but like not necessarily anime. And there was just like a softness and a delicateness about them that I really wanted to make sure I pulled them into the spread. So I knew I wanted to have this moment because whenever you have a kit that doesn't have the full length washi look, the full length washi, you have to compensate for the white space somehow. So I knew I wanted to do a design up my sidebar. I know we're working on the date cover now. But let's sidebar the sidebar real quick. Date cover, kept it really simple. Wanted to use the actual date covers that came with the script, and my idea was kind of making it look like the sky. So back to the sidebar, since I didn't talk through any of that. So to fix the space at the bottom, compensate for that the white space, I used one of the fashion people, and then I built up, and I knew I wanted to use one of the full boxes in the sidebar. But then, as I've been commonly finding, I didn't know necessarily how to complete it at the top. Um, the whole cloud motif kind of came into play after I was looking through things. I kind of pull stickers out that I think I'm going to want to use, that are at least in kind of the same color story and kind of the same theme. So I pulled the clouds from the Wildflower collection, and I just had them on hand just in case. I didn't know if I wanted to use them. So I came across the clouds, and I was like, all right, well, let's just complete this with the clouds, and then the rest of the date cover area kind of came into place. So that is that part of the base. I was very intent on using those little camera frames, um, of which I've only used the hollow ones, which is really funny. Excuse me. The thing was, I was trying to my thought was maybe have it look like it was like a snapshot of a full box. Like I was like taking the camera and taking a picture of something that could be inside the full box. And I was like, well, my center bridges are usually they're usually something I have a lot of intricate details in and yada yada yada. So I was like, maybe this is a good place to put this. And um the size was just not right, and I tried different angles, and I was like, this looks stupid, right? Like you wouldn't take a picture of something like really askew. So I was like, I had to table it for now. I was like, let me table this. We're going to use it somewhere in the spread. We just got to find out where that somewhere is. Oh, I guess I should point out that the rippable washi, that one was from my goodness, what was the one I used last month from the Pretty Pink Co? Daydream. I believe that is the one from Daydream. Just because it again is in the same color palette. I tend to pull things out that I might use, I might not use. Sometimes you should see this pile of stickers I pull. And I'm like, why did I pull so many? And other times I don't pull a lot, and I'm like, why didn't I pull any? Um, More often than not, I do actually kind of pull the right amount because I feel like that sticker pulling stage is super critical for me to kind of see or kind of formulate a vision. Um, at least a rough kind of, these are going to be the major focal points. This is what my sidebar is going to look like. Am I going to do anything interesting in the bottom washi area? Am I going to do anything interesting in the date cover area? Um, Sometimes I skip the sticker pulling step. Um, and I don't like that's when I find that I struggle the most with putting a base together. It's because I don't, not that I spend a lot of time, but if I don't spend any amount of time at least flipping through the stickers and like actually looking at them and being like, okay, you know what, I can sort of see this little moment here and see this little moment here. Like if I don't do that, I struggle so hard with the base. For this one, like I said, I pulled a few stickers and I kind of had a few ideas, like, the the um the doll, the center scene. Um so at least I have some sort of groundwork. Um, so where was I? Why did I start on that tangent? I know I was talking about pulling stickers and the rippable washi. I think I was trying to go somewhere with that, but I've totally forgotten what that something is. One thing I learned from this this set of stickers, specifically, I remember I remember very distinctly, when I bought this collection. I wanted to go and buy the florals, and she didn't have any florals in premium. I very distinctly remember that. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? That's fine. We can pivot, we can adjust, we can figure it out because I want this collection, and it's fine if the florals are in transparent matte. And luckily, somehow, I guess because Sita knew, like I frequently shopped with her. I guess she figured out that typically prefer my florals in premium matte rather than transparent matte, so she sent me both, which was nice. Um, but what I've learned with this spread, or kind of discovered, or stumbled upon, is that the see that full box. Well, we're on a different full box now. I think I'm going to do it again. Um, the full boxes, when I tried to line them up at the bottom next to the washi area, there was a gap of white, and like I could have struggled and tried to pull up that trim and kind of layer over the full box with the trim, but sometimes it's just too much work. Like it's not, you got to compare, like, do I want to do all of the work of trying to pull the sticker back up, especially like at this time? I don't know what kind of sticker paper she was using, but it adhered itself to the paper. Like the paper ripped because of how strong the sticker paper was. Because this also happened with the serendipity kit. I was like, what kind of magical paper were you using at this point in time? Oh, cool, we're about to do this again. So I didn't want to keep pulling up this bottom washi to try to layer appropriately. So having that the transparent matte florals, the coral, was really nice because I was able to fill in the those white spaces without necessarily doing a lot of layering. So if you saw with that box that I just did, right, I pulled in a few of the transparent matte coral pieces, just to kind of fill it in and blend it up into the full box, which was really nice. I might want to, well, then again, I don't really very often do the floral trim at the bottom of a page. But if there's ever a spread where I know I'm going to do that, I might want to consider transparent matte florals. Although I think I would guess that the washi florals would probably be a pretty good compromise too, for that. So yeah, tangents galore today. Or just kind of like speaking through the process. As you see, I did find a way to make use of the camera, that camera frame. It's not perfect to what I wanted to use it for, but I figured it was the best compromise. Um, just because a lot of I was like, I could try to take a snapshot of a full box, but then I'd have this awkward white space where the camera is, which I guess I could have filled in with an alcohol ink now that I'm thinking about it. Um, but I figured this was like, I mean, I think it looks pretty cool that way. So that's just me. For my date numbers, I actually, this funny story. So one more small tangent before we go to the day by day. Um, I've realized, because I went and pulled my sheet of holo date covers, and I'm like, I always seem to use holo around like the 21st of the month, which makes sense because the first day of summer is around it's the 20th or the 21st. I always use holo right around there if I'm using holo. For sure in December I'm going to use it for my birthday week, which is December 19th, which is around the 20th to the 21st. So I have like a bunch of like the beginning of the months, some of the end of the month numbers. So I was like, okay, I don't really have enough to um actually use in my date cover area all the way across. So we're just going to use silver as a compromise, and we're going to make sure we try to use hollow kits at other points in the year or in the month from now on, because I have a lots of like the 1 through 10s in the early teens, but I got like none in the 20s, like early 20s. So it was an interesting observation that I made, and I think is it going to be the same? Oh my god, it's going to be the same for August too, because I have Starlight Papers, the third kit. It's just funny. It's just funny. I should ask a shop if I should find out if there's a way for me to just get like date dots in holo that are from like the 15th through like the 27th. If I could just have a whole series of those. But then again, we just adjust, like silver works just fine. Okay, on to the day by day. Sorry about all the tangents. I mean, I'm not sorry, but like I acknowledge that that was kind of a tangent. Monday was a coffee Monday. We had a town hall at work, and then I had spaghetti and meatballs for dinner. And I got some Happy Mail from Taylor Made Creative. That was probably that. Oh, like the midnight garden. It was that impulse buy. It was that stunning purple nighttime kit collection. I didn't buy a lot, but I bought it. On Tuesday, I had a Dr. Coffee run. Oh my goodness. So I I wear daily contacts because I've not good at remembering to change them twice a month or every other week. Um so I wear daily contacts. So on my way to work, I guess like I guess the contact just wasn't sitting right. So, and I know better. Trust me, I do know better to not be rubbing my eye and all. Like I know that because from what I recall or I've heard a long time ago, is like your contact can scratch like your eyes and all that stuff. So, but on my commute to work, my left contact was just driving me nuts, and I was just rubbing it. I was just trying to like move my eyelid around just to kind of just put it in a more comfortable position, and it somehow fell out. The problem was is that I was like about 80% of my way to work, and I didn't really want to have to turn around. It was only in the one eye. My eyes actually have two different prescriptions. My right eye is worse than my left eye, and I was an idiot and didn't put any backups in my bag. Not yet. I do now. I have them now for when this happens. So I lost one contact on my commute to work and had to spend the rest of the day half blind. Well, I'm not blind, but with half vision, half full vision. Which was it's very fun when you have to do computer work all day. So that then I learned my lesson. Now I carry an extra set of contacts with an extra five, one for each eye, five contacts with me at all times now, because I'm not I'm not doing that again. And then I finished Tuesday night with some planning time on the 23rd, Wednesday. I went inside to observe this new procedure that we were developing. I'm not part of the core group, but has like a senior member of the team. I wanted to go in and learn what the equipment was, how to use it, not necessarily like get hands on, but like just have an idea of what's going on, so that when we write protocols and when things need to be trouble when we have trouble when we have to troubleshoot, at least I have an idea of what we're talking about. Um, and then okay, so and then my coworkers, so when they go get coffee, there's a guy they apparently come across from UPS, and he's always like, "Hey, you get me a coffee too?" And this time they actually got him a coffee, but he wasn't there. So then they gave me the UPS guy coffee. And then we had hot dogs for dinner. I'm almost caught up. Thursday was a paperwork day. I was chatting with my coworkers. I didn't write down what about, but apparently we had a very good chat. I also wrote down that there was planner drama this day, and I cannot remember specifically what this one was. I think, I think this was. Uh, I mean, I didn't involve myself. I was, observer watching from the outside. I think this was something on the clip art kit side, not in this kind of dainty foiled side. I didn't write down what it was, because I guess I thought I would remember. But yeah, there was some planner drama happening that day. No one I know personally or talk to on a regular basis. Just like I was just like a fly on the wall. And then I finished that night with a planner sesh. On Friday, I got some happy mail from the Giving Girl. It was a Twinkle Tuesday, and then from the Pretty Pink Co. I had our boss brought in ice cream because it's been stupid hot. So he brought in ice cream because he thought it would be nice. And then we were playing. Bub has these like kitchen toy things. He's a little kitchen, and he has food, fake food. And one of these are these peas. And he like put them on dad and said peas on him, and we just died, because without the context of knowing it's a little pile of green peas, you just hear kids say peas on him, and it's just funny. This is what becoming a parent is, especially of boys. Potty humor is very funny to boys of all ages, because my husband found it absolutely hilarious. He thought it was the funniest thing. But I mean, it was pretty funny because you just hear the kid yelling peas on him, and you're like, what? So that was Friday. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's zip through. Saturday, we went to Target and Lowe's. I reorganized my bookshelf that had all of my bullet journals in it, and then I played with stickers. And then on Sunday, I made breakfast. Nap interrupted. I don't know what interrupted the nap, but then I was like just touched out for the rest of the day. That's the leave me the fuck alone sticker. I was like, just this, I'm touched out. I'm tapping out. I can't do this mom thing anymore for a little while. Just leave me alone. And I know my toddler mom friends will know what that feeling is. So that's the spread. I love the holo. Of course, you know me. I'm a holo girly. That's the spread. I said that already, but I'm saying it again. I hope you like it. If you enjoyed the video, I would love it if you gave it a little like. Leave a comment with any of your thoughts down below, and I would be so happy if you join my little channel here by subscribing. And I hope to see you in the next one.